Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. So today, family, today, we're going to have someone great. I hope everybody's well. Let me give you all a round of applause for coming in. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Give everybody a round of applause for coming in. How you doing? How you doing, family? That's right. Today we have a special show for you today. We have a very special show for you today. We have, of course, Miss Audrey Rumbers coming in live and direct. Miss Audrey Rumbers coming in live and direct. And of course, she'll be speaking on Quantum Metaphysician. She's a Quantum Metaphysician and Audranite creator. So we'll have her come up with special guests. Renowned astronumerologists will be on today to filter some questions with my co-host, of course. And then tomorrow, people who wants to find out about real estate, we'll be doing this tomorrow about real estate. Oh, yeah. So if you're interested in buying real estate, we have one of my sponsors that I usually see up here. Janelle Lewis will be here. So give her a well-deserved round of applause. Yeah. Janelle will be here live and direct. And we're going to speak about the wonderful world of property ownership. Okay, property ownership. Only on King Simon Presents right here on tomorrow. And that's Thursday at 9 p.m. And of course, this coming Sunday, we have Dr. MJ, acupuncture physician, board certified Eastern herbalist, and author, Pedal Wise, founder and director of Eden Integrative Medicine. Pardon me. Let's give her a round of applause, Dr. MJ. Dr. MJ will be on with us live and direct. Yes. So. And she'll be speaking about womb disease is killing your mental health. That's womb disease is killing your mental health. She's going to deal with that case. And of course, my partner in Vive will be coming up momentarily. So enough respect to her. And make sure you get her products. Make sure you get, this is my son, of course. Big up to Prince Imagine. Of course, you get his music on all platforms. See, check the link right there. That's https://lnk.bio/ZB06. That's my son's link, of course, at Prince Imagine. And let's see here, of course, make sure you go to Womillion_adornments if you want to get these earrings that are orgasmic experience from these earrings. Make sure you support our sister. And if you want to find out further information about her stuff and all the other stuff she got coming up, she is the co-host right here. And you can always hit her up at the email that you see on here. Spread some love via Cash App, of course. And her PayPal is aishamcbride@gmail.com. So make sure you show love to one of my partners in Vibes right here. And also my daughter's cups are on sale right now. So big up to Yasira Pink Art. If you want to find out more about her stuff, please go to teesprings.com/Yasira Pink Art, and you can find out that's the link right there. So you can always rewind this and find the link and write down the link so you can get those nice teacups and coffee mugs. If that's what says I am great. That's right. She's the artist for that. I am great. So enough respect to her and what she's doing and what she's attempting to grow into a great businesswoman. Also, if you want to get my books, Numerovation for Mental Stability, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, our children's health is important. And of course, no promotion is bad promotion. Just go to the link tree. The link tree will take you directly there. That's right. This is my link tree right here. It will take you directly there. That's linktree/King Simon, the Numerovator. That's King Simon, the Numerovator. So make sure you check it out. All right. Okay. As we continue, so yes, I see that. And of course, let's go to the next person, of course, Lloyd Strayhorn, who will be on today with me. Give the .com. This is his website. If you want to take his class, his intermediate or his beginner's class, that's www.lloyd-strayhorn.com. That's www.lloyd-strayhorn.com. And of course, if you want to take my class is going to be another level to what Lloyd is teaching. Make sure you go to the Numerovator@gmail to sign up. The Numerovator@gmail to sign up. And let me see, pedalwise.com. You want to take care of your women's needs and what's going on in your women's needs, fibroid, breast problems, all of the stuff that women be going through. This sister can help you out. And the new 10% coupon code is KING2021. All you have to do is go to www.pedalwise.com, place that order, make sure you put in that code, all right? Make sure you I want to change that color. Let me change that color of that. Let me see if I get it. Let me see. I get it a little lighter because we got a beautiful sister coming in. We're gonna get it a little lighter. There it is. All right, we're gonna go that color. All right, we're gonna get it a little lighter so we know how to show our people some love. And if you want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And if you live outside of the United States, use WhatsApp. If you live outside the United States, use WhatsApp. All right. Make sure you like, and share, family. Like and thumb up the video, share the video. Come on, show that love. It's important to spread love. Of course, if you want to spread love my way, please go to $King Simon 3158 at Cash App. That's $3 King Simon at 3158. And also, you can pay via that too for the numerovation session, and also paypal.me/King Simon. That's paypal.me/King Simon. I hope everybody's well. Let me play some music while we wait for our sister to come on. And oh yeah, this one here, YouTube special, Sunset and Beaches, right here on King Simon Presents. So tune in, family. We're going to bring up our co-host after this. It's time to boogie. Let me bring on my co-host. I do see Miss Rumbers in the background, of course. Let me bring on my co-host in the vibe one. Aisha Amor is in the building. What's up, Aisha? How you doing, girl? Oh, yes, I'm here. Oh, a lot of mercy. I am here. It's good to see all of you today. What's up, Aisha? What's up, Empress? How you feeling? I can't hear you. You're on mute. You put yourself on mute. Take yourself off mute.
I'm always putting myself on mute. I be paranoid in my apartment.
That's the problem. You be paranoid in your apartment. Damn.
Driving by, they make this shooting sound now, like this pop sound when these days they got sound.
That's right.
You heard that before.
Yeah, you're in the Bronx.
There a lot of traffic, so I'd be like, I don't want nobody thinking that someone's shooting in the background.
That's good. Don't worry. That's fireworks in the Bronx. That's all. That's what we call fireworks in the Bronx. So, all right. So I see our guests in the background. I hope everything is well. So let me first, before we bring on this sister here, I met her when she came to town with her cousin, Kaya French. We met her at Nicholas. They said they seen us on television while doing this YouTube stuff. You know how that works, But I want to read her bio because I'm on her website right now. She is a creator and she is doing some masterful work. She's doing some masterful work. So I want to make sure I show her some love. First and foremost, hold on one second. Let me just make sure. Hold on. Before I start reading, I'm going to read it right now. Now, this beautiful sister, Audrey received her bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies from Wayne State University in 2008. She was employed by Wayne State University 26 years, including 20 years in the Department of Physics and Astronomy. Her unique experience includes serving as the project coordinator and administrator for 2 quantum physics international research collaboration. Oh man, at the Wayne State University portion. Of course, she did relativist, man, I've messed up this word already. Heavy Ion Collider, that's the RHIC, housed in Brookhaven Laboratory in Upton, New York. And she did the Large Ion Collider experiment, ALICE, a part of the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, housed in CERN in Geneva, Switzerland. Audrey also studied the ancient African cosmology, and including ancient Egypt, or Kemet, as we like to say in her spare time. We want to welcome right here on the stage as King Simon presents right here for the first time ever, the one, the only Audrey Rumbers. How you doing, Audrey?
Hello, King Simon. Hello, Empress. How are you guys? Nice to be here.
Oh, wow. It's good to see you. How you been?
I've been wonderful. It's been great.
Man, you remind me of Neil deGrasse Tyson in the universe in the background.
Yeah, well, quantum physics, that's what we do.
Yeah, I watch him all the time. So I like him. I know he's part of the infrastructure, but I think he's very entertaining. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, well, I know you're in D-Town, and first of all, honored to have you here. We're honored to see you here, and glad that you're in what you're into, of course, because you're into quantum, you're a quantum physician, and you make your own Audranites, which we're going to show some of those pictures. I have at least a few of those pictures of your Audranite Pyramids. Matter of fact, I have one that's not with me here in Florida, but it's definitely at home in New York. I should have carried it with me to keep me grounded a little, but it's all
we
right.
got to keep the positive energy going, that's for sure.
I'll stay cray. I'm all right with that. I got no problem. So, my dear, how you been through this whole reset? How you been?
I've been resetting. That's what I've been doing. I've been resetting. I mean, because initially, basically, my business was about basically a local business, and I would go to different events and sell my pyramids and things. But when the pandemic came, all of that came to a halt. So I had to transition from being local to being on the internet and getting my store up online. And so it's been a transition period, but I appreciate it. I needed it. It was time.
Well, let me mention, of course, Audrey Rumbers, Audranite creator and quantum metaphysician. Her email is audranite777@gmail, and her number to get in contact with if you want to buy her stuff, that's 313-758-1381. And her website is www.audranite.com, and her IG is at Audranite77. Am I correct so far?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Just want to get the business out the way, and we'll keep on promoting it through the whole thing. So this is very interesting. As short as your bio is on your website, it's you have experience, of course, and you've seen the collider, the RHIC collider, and you've seen the ALICE also.
Okay, now let's understand.
Yes,
ALICE is an experiment that's part of a larger experiment, which is the Large Hadron Collider. So the Large Hadron Collider is the large experiment, the large research that they're doing at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland. And there are like 4 different experiments that are going on, and ALICE is one of those experiments. And ALICE stands for a Large Ion Collider experiment, and it comes out to be ALICE. And it takes us truly down the rabbit hole.
And the now I butchered up that first name. Please say that. See, you do.
Relativistic. Yes, I do. I have a problem with that word. I understand totally. Yeah, that was my first project. That was Rick. I just call it Rick. We keep it simple.
Okay, call it Rick. Yeah,
that was the first. Yeah,
because sis, I looked it up. I looked up the word and it pronounced it, and I had the word until I went to say the word.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's in your head. As soon as it comes out of your mouth, it's like relativistic, But we just keep it at Rick. Keep it simple.
Let's keep it.
Yeah, but that
Rick.
was my the first project I worked on when I came to the physics department. And that was a collider that they built at Brookhaven, right around New York, up in Upton, New York. And that's when I got my first experience in dealing with quantum physics and what they were doing. And then after a few years, that project ended, and we started the larger project, the international project of the Large Hadron Collider, ALICE specifically.
You've been working in it for 20 years in the physics and astronomy department, but of course at the school there, Wayne State University. And now, how many women are into this? How many Black women? Because Happy Women's History Month, of course, of History Month, of course.
Yes.
And how many Black women are part of this type of experiments that you've been experienced over the years?
Very few. Very few. As a matter of fact, when I was at Wayne State, they graduated their first ever female to graduate with a degree in quantum theoretical physics. She was the very first Black female, and I don't know of any others. And even on the project, I was the only Black person on the project, and I was the only female on the project for many years until I was in the position of hiring, and that's where we got some Black people.
How were you treated as a Black woman and the only Black woman at that? And I got to ask that question because I know how this can be in fields like that. So please, because my aunt was also one of my cousins was a well-known microbiome doctors in Washington, but it was kind of, when you're in those fields, it's always more white dominated, other people in there. How did they handle you?
Well, I'll tell you, working with physicists like that, it's kind of like working with doctors. And when you're working with people like that, you understand that they all have egos, and they're really large. So you just have to learn how to tiptoe around them a little bit. But basically, I'll tell you what I found is that when you're doing your job very well, they treat you very well. They respect the fact when you're doing your job very well, and that's what I kind of made sure that I did, so that any things they had to think about me, as long as it was about my job, it was fine. So I didn't really have any problems. I understood who I was working with and what they needed.
And plus, you born under one of them strong signs too. So you born the same day as Muhammad Ali, girl. You better put it on them.
You know what? It's funny that you would say that, because I remember one time my boss came into my office and he said something to me like, Audrey, we're okay as long as they don't mess with us, right? I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's like, we're good. As long as you don't start any trouble, we're good. Other than that, we
That's right.
have to handle that.
And and before I bring on Lloyd is in the background, but I want to make sure Empress Aisha have a question before we bring on Lloyd. Physics and astronomy, what was that department like, and how did that work out as far as what you was doing in that department when you was at the school, Wayne State University? For 20 years you did that. Physics, and you never became a physicist? You never became a physicist?
No. First of all, when I first started working in the physics department, I knew absolutely nothing about physics. And I did not want to know anything about physics. As a matter of fact, I was afraid of physics. I thought that it was just so complicated and, oh my God, all these calculations and math and all of that. And so I just wanted to know, I just wanted to do the paperwork. That's basically what I was about. But I'm a kind of like a naturally nosy person. So when I'm getting involved in these things, and whereas maybe other people might just come in there and do their job, but I started getting interested in what they were doing in actuality. And I started asking questions. And then when I started asking questions, and it was like getting a little bit kind of like unbelievable. So then I started going online and started, researching more what I was doing at work. Then I would come home and I would research what I'm doing at work. And I found that there were a lot of people out here who were talking about the project that I was working on that I had no idea. And so when I started to actually study it from outside perspective, because when you're in it, when you're in a university working on projects like that, it's kind of like you're just going to work. Everyone's doing their job. It's like no really big deal. But when you realize what you're really working on, it is a very big deal. And it is mind-boggling and life-changing.
Yes, and you're doing a lot of life-changing for other people also. A lot of people don't even realize that. And just being in that field as the first anything is a beautiful thing. It's just like watching Hidden Figures. And when that sister who was born, who actually, the one who played the part of being the first in that department, what's her name? Janelle Monáe. She's born December 1st. So when that threw out there, I was like, whoa. I said, wait a minute. She just throw that out there like that? That's how they're going to throw down on me? I said, okay, this is how we're going to work it. I said, okay. But no, congratulations, of course, on being that first or one of the Black women that was there that showed that color, showed that vibrant there, and that was needed in those departments. Thank you very much for your great service, of course. Hold on, let's give you a round of applause for that. But I see our brother in the background who wants to help out with some questions before Aisha asks you her question. Here we got our astronumerologist, the one, the only Lloyd Strayhorn in the building. Lloyd! We got him. Those are them. That's right. That's it. Let them see that. Oh, yeah. Let them see. Wow, she got your numbers on them, too. My goodness.
They are
she got your number.
They are mine forever.
Yeah.
And what makes these so unique, I don't know how she does it. I'm not asking for the trade secrets. But when one shines a special light on it, these have all gone light. So you see how it looks.
Wow.
See how that looks?
Yes.
I've never seen anything like that. And I've been around. Okay.
Wow.
I've never seen anything like that. And I think it's the most amazing thing. Hi, Audrey. Hi, honey.
Hello, Lloyd. How are you?
Fine. This is a brilliant woman. I know you did the introduction. I've had the pleasure of meeting her. I had the pleasure of her being in my house. So, okay, can't nobody tell me squat up in there, okay? She is great. She is a phenomenal person. And it's obviously God put her at Wayne State University to learn these things. And what makes it phenomenal when we hear the word quantum physics, it's kind of mind-boggling to us. But she has a way of breaking it down into kind of baby language that brothers and sisters can understand, and that's what makes it phenomenal with this. Bless you, Audrey.
Bless you, Audrey.
I had to understand it. I had to break it down for myself, so to understand exactly what they were talking about.
And that's a wonderful thing, man. I love it. Thank you. Hey, Lloyd, we did a great job with Brother Rich. Y'all did the rest of the job. Y'all did a great job. You, Kaya, and Rich, y'all had a good time over there, I see. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I thank Rich and all that stuff,
Yes.
This is the showpiece right here. And how are you, Sister Aisha? How are you, Empress?
Doing great, Lloyd. Thank you. It's a
Okay,
pleasure to meet
get
you.
her out to all the women. And this is Women's Month too. Actually,
That's right.
every day is Women's Day. Actually,
Yes.
without you, we don't get here. All righty. So we can sing your praises 365 days a year. Seriously. I mean,
that's right. That's right. Now, Empress, do you have a question for Audrey? Our sister
Very
Audrey?
curious about the pyramids. I don't know the exact name of them, but how do they ground you? Like, what is the purpose of them? It's like, how do they ground you? Do you have to be? Are you like?
Let me tell you. First of all, I love talking about my pyramids, so I can talk about them forever. And so let me tell you how I came about creating these pyramids is that all the time I spent in the physics department, and I'm learning all about these energies and all these different things I had no idea about before I started working there. And so after I had been involved and I'm learning and studying and all of this, and I'm seeing that these things are really real. So at some point I said, okay, you've gathered all of this knowledge, all of this stuff, so what are you going to do with it? How are you going to take this information and make it useful to you and to the people who you want to help? And so I thought about how I could create something, and then I thought about it was all about, I know it's all about energy and how would I get this energy. And then another thing I thought is, as Black people, I was asking myself, what do we need? What's missing? What's missing? Something is missing for us to go to that next level. And I was thinking, I said, we have creativity, we have intelligence, we have, you know, all of the things that you would think that we would need, but something is still missing. And then it just hit me. It's just like love. It's like, we got to learn how to really love each other. Now, how do we do that? I said, we got to change the energy. And so I just started studying energy and crystals and things of this nature. And ancient Kemet and the things that they did. And when I was studying ancient Kemet and their cosmology and things, I remember reading years ago that they said that the ancient Egyptians would combine their art, their science, and their spirituality. And at that time, I had no idea how would you do that. But as I started studying, I started to learning that, I started to understand what they were doing. So when I created my pyramids, I had that in mind. I said, I'm going to create something that has my spirituality, that has, you know, my art and science. And that's basically what they are. And what my pyramids are, they're about positive energy. They're about generating and tapping into the energy that we have around us. And how I do that is I use, I always put rose quartz crystals in my pyramids because rose quartz are a very positive and loving energy stone. And also the fiber optics. Now the fiber optics, I call my pyramids like an ancient future kind of device, simply because the pyramid and the crystals are basically the ancient part of the pyramid, but the fiber optics is what brings the future part of the device into the situation. Because fiber optics, what they do, if you ever see a fiber optic strand, you'll notice that it's just lit at both ends. It's just a strand, but there's light at both ends, and it's like, how is that happening? What is this? How is this light, coming through here with no source? So when I studied, I studied it because they use a lot of fiber optics in these quantum physics experiments, and I'm like, what is it about these things that they're so important? So what I found out is that light travels through fiber optics. So as long as there's any light around, that light, you're going to see the light at either end of a fiber optic strand. And as the light flows through, the light is carrying information. It's carrying energies. When I create my pyramids, when I put that rose quartz crystal at the apex, that energy is being flowed through those fiber optics, because quartz crystals, when you put them under pressure, they give off an energy that's called piezoelectricity. And so that energy is taken and is carried a further distance through fiber optics on light signals. So I hope, I don't know if that makes sense, or if I need to clarify a bit more.
Oh, no. I like where you're going, because it was people like Dr. Delbert Blair that opened my mind to a lot of this. The
Yes.
Orgone energy, Brother
Yes.
Jerry Miller, and Sister Suzar, who haven't spoken in
Yes,
years.
I know her. I know her. Her book, I
Yes.
met her through someone else. And I said, you are Suzar Epps. I told her, me and her, we're very close now. I said, I loved her. She was so important on my journey.
Now, she's not doing interviews no more. What's going on with her? I've been wanting to get her.
Well, we talk on the phone.
Ask her if she'll do an interview, please.
I will.
Tell her we would love to see Suzar, man. I have her books from back in the day.
Yes.
We just miss her. We just knew she went somewhere and disappeared and all that, and that was it.
Yeah. And she just popped up. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So see, she must be paying attention. I don't know if Lloyd, if you remember Suzar, Sister Suzar. Lloyd, you remember Suzar?
Not offhand. When I see her, I'll probably say, "Oh yeah."
No, that the metaphysics of the stuff that she's talking about. They used to teach these things in lectures. She's on YouTube too. You can Google up and watch some of the stuff on YouTube. Yes. And and now you got to slow it down for some of our people who don't understand, of course, because you're going there. And the Orgone energy, I understand you're building it from different materials to produce this energy. And anybody can do it, but you have definitely put a touch on it because of your background. So please explain how can be used and how many ways it can be used, not just being sat on your counter, but other places also, please.
Now here's the thing. Organite.
Yes.
It's the original idea that I built upon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Organite is something that you build, like you said, it's very simple. It's something that's done with layering of metals and with a crystal, with a resin. And even though I know it sounds like a very, very simple thing, which it is, but we're learning that it's the simple things that have a lot of the power, a lot of the energy that we don't really think of. And
Mm-hmm.
so I started off making Organite, just plain old layered Organites, and taking them around. And people have used Organite for so many different things. I mean, they have used chem busters for the chemtrails. I have seen these things where they will build large Organite devices that would actually, the energy, you would see it being able to break up the chemtrails in the skies. And they just have so many different ways that you can use it. Me, myself, I have a specific reason for making mine and putting this particular crystal in it, and that is about the positive energy that you can tap into. So that's what I'm about. Many people use Organite for many different things.
Right.
I have seen it work when people just having this Organite around them. I have seen the energy change, so I know it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Now exactly how it works, I'm not that sure. I mean, I'll read about it, but still, for what I've seen, I'm like, there's something more to this than what we really know. And so there's a guy named Wilhelm Reich. He's the one who originally, in my opinion, some people say someone else came first, but from my understanding, Wilhelm Reich is the first person who noticed that you could tap into these energies back in the 1950s, and they thought he was crazy. And they basically persecuted this man, put him in prison, and right before he was supposed to get out, he had a heart attack.
Wow.
And then they burned all of his books and destroyed all of his devices. And I just have a thing. Anyone who's persecuted by the government like that, I need to look into them. That's just someone that's telling you something that you need to know.
Exactly. And those that are just tuning in, please share and like this video. We have Audrey Rumbers, Audranite creator and Quantum Metaphysician. Email her if you want to find out more information. You can go to email her at audranite777@gmail.com, or you can give her a call if you want any consultation about this type of stuff and how it can help your work. 313-758-1381, and her website. People are already saying they're going to your website, www.audranite.com. They said her pyramids are very beautiful. And of course, her IG, like up her IG, get on that IG. That is Audranite77. And let me show you. Now, explain this one, because I think I have this. No, this is the one I do have. This is the one that you gave me. That's the kind of one that you gave me. Yeah, that's the one you gave me back in the day.
That's not quite the one I gave you.
I think it's similar. Yeah, it has the copper in it. I see the copper.
Yeah.
Also. Yes. Explain this one for me, please.
So you see at the very top, some people call it a cloud. They say it looks like a cloud, but in actuality, that is the rose quartz crystal.
Okay.
So the rose quartz crystal, and if you can see at the very top, you'll see that green light as the fiber optics on all sides. If you look closer, you'll actually see the light coming down at the end of the fiber optics, like at the top, the light, and at the bottom is the light, as the light is flowing through. So those are the fiber optics on all four sides of the pyramid. And then I have layers of other materials. I think that's clear quartz. A layer of clear quartz. I don't know, the black, it could be.
Don't stress yourself.
Yeah, because it's been a while since I made it, so I usually know what's in them, but it's like I don't remember. But yeah, basically all of my Audranite pieces are going to have three main things. They're going to have fiber optics, they're going to have a crystal, rose quartz crystal, and they're going to have metal, and that's usually going to be copper, but sometimes it's not. So on those things, and then anything else is just additional, but those are the main components of an Audranite pyramid.
Now, go ahead, Sister Aisha. You have a question, Empress? Go ahead, give her a question. Lloyd, if you have one, get ready for it.
I got loads of questions.
Okay, go ahead. Let Empress Aisha go, and then we'll go to you. Go ahead, Empress.
But I'm still really curious about like how does it ground you? Like where do you have to be like are you going to be moody? Is it somebody who's moody? Is it somebody who want to be creative? Like
Okay.
how does it ground you?
Okay. See, everyone thinks about energy in different ways. Okay. So let me tell you the way I think of energies. I feel that there are only two types of energy. There's negative energy and there's positive energy, right? So now if someone comes to me, which people have come to me, and they'll say, do you have a pyramid for health? Mm-hmm. And I'll say, well, for me, if you're in good health, that's positive energy flowing. If you're in bad health, then that's negative energy flowing. So anytime you have negative energy flowing, if you want to balance that out, then you're going to bring positive energy into it. So when you bring one of my pyramids in, it's not like this pyramid does this and that pyramid does that. No. These pyramids are about changing the energy, right? And the best way for me to explain it in the most simplest form is I just say, what can go right will go right. That's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever it may be.
So it's not Murphy's law. This is Audrey's law.
Yes, absolutely. Pretty much the opposite. The opposite. You know. So when people ask me, well, what to expect when I get my pyramid, I'm like, I have no idea. I know nothing about what's going on. You tell me what happens.
Let me tell you what I got from it. Let me tell you what I got from it. I had the most. When I have it next to me or under my pillow, I have some of the most extraordinary dreams. And I love to dream. I like to go into that other realm. And I've been taken to other planets before through my experience. So I'm not afraid of death because I already know where I'm headed to. So I already see what's happening. So but especially. And look at this one. This one right here. Oh my goodness. Everybody take a look at that one. Now, Audrey, explain this one here because you got the Jinami on there and you got rose quartz on the top. Talk about that, sister.
Yeah, that one is basically, you know, the Adinkra symbols of West Ghana. You know, that's very important. Now, I'll tell you, it has a quantum physics connection, which people wouldn't even realize that there was a quantum physics connection between Adinkra symbols and, you know, science. But in actuality, I don't know if you're familiar with the Black theoretical physicist. His name is James Gates.
Of course, Sylvester Gates, born December 15th. Come on now.
Okay. Okay. So you know, I love this man because he has incorporated. I say here, and it's amazing because he's a Black man and he did this because he has the sensibilities. He's thinking of, you know, he still has the knowledge of us in addition to the quantum physics knowledge. So he brought together somehow. What he created, he called it Adinkra. And I said, oh, isn't that something? And the way he explains, you have to listen to him explain it.
I heard him, and he explained that the patterns even out of Africa, the Adinkra pattern. And I have a friend that I'm going to be bringing up next month who actually writing mathematics books about the Adinkra system, Adinkra patterns and how they mathematically. Even Dr. John Henry Clark spoke about it too. So,
and I'll tell you how I came about him is because when I was looking at these symbols, I'm realizing, like I tell people, I say, you know, when we go back and we pick up our symbols, the ancient symbols that we said these belong to us. I say that's true. I said, but there is science behind those symbols. Those symbols aren't just there just to look pretty. There's science and you know, things of that nature. So when I looked at the Adinkra symbols, I'm like, I know something. Those something deep. There's some type of sacred geometry going on. There's something going on with those Adinkra symbols. And so what I did was I Googled Adinkra and quantum physics, and that's how I came up with Professor James Gates. So you know, so I was like, oh, he already knows. He's making the connection to quantum physics, which I thought was amazing.
Before we go to Lloyd, you know what's so interesting? I was listening to him, and when him and Neil deGrasse Tyson was on the stage together, which was very funny and very, you know Neil deGrasse, he's always trying to be comical, but they went back to even say that numerology and numbers was here before Pythagoras. I mean, they went back into saying it was thousands of years before Pythagoras.
Oh my goodness!
They had the nerve to say that to this white audience. I was like, whoa! I said, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, this thing about numbers and quantum physics, because when I knew when I was going to come on your program, you know, I immediately started thinking about the connection between, okay, quantum physics and numbers. What is the real connection? Because there is definitely a connection there, because quantum physics is numbers. That's all it is. It's just numbers. And yet, so what I do is sometimes I listen to these quantum physicists talk on YouTube. You know, they have your TED Talks or whatever, and I'm like a fly on the wall, you know, just trying to kind of pick up on some of the things that they're talking about. And I remember listening to one of them, and I even wrote it down because I said, oh my gosh, because it got me to thinking. I'm going to show you what he said, because I said, this is what I mean. These numbers are very important. It's more important, like what you guys are doing as far as numerology. I don't think people really realize that this is like everywhere. These numbers is like, if you just really look at them in certain aspects, you can learn so much. Now, this is what the quantum physicists say about numbers. Hold on just a minute. Let me get my...
Okay, got you. Remember to thumb up the video, people. Like the video and share the video, people. Stop playing. Let's do this.
So this is what they said, and it caught my attention. One of them said, he says, when physics tries to reach for understanding our world, it uses the tool of math to reach beyond the limits of our current understanding. And I'm like, you use math to understand something beyond our current understanding? Math? You know, so then I got to thinking, why? I mean, I understand that numbers are very important. Like you said, they've been here a long time before we even knew about, you know, numbers or whatever. But then I said, why are they so important? And then I started going off into a really kind of, I don't know, unusual thought experiment is what quantum physics is called. You know, you just start thinking, well, what if, you know, what is about these numbers? And speaking of Professor Gates, do you know that Professor Gates found computer code hidden in nature? Did you know that?
He did mention that. I remember checking out something. I'm ordering his book. I didn't get the order yet, but I put it on my cart. I need to order some books.
That's a huge thing to say.
Yes.
He found computer code embedded in nature. And I'm like, what do you mean? Computer, wait a minute, computer code in nature. But as I started thinking about this, and then my mind started really going crazy, because then I started saying that numbers, like in our computer, what we're seeing now is just a bunch of ones and zeros in different formats, and it's creating this.
Yes.
So if numbers can create this, then why can't numbers create this?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You know,
people, make sure y'all share. Remember, hit her up on www.audranite.com. Her IG is Audranite77. And of course, her email is Audranite777@gmail. Now, Lloyd, you said you had a question, my brother. Please share your question.
No, I got actually many questions, but I'm going to keep it.
Let's start off with the first one you got, brother. Go ahead.
You know, first of all, of all the things, she would happen to make it as a pyramid, which is in Africa. And when they talk about numbers, it is actually African in origin. And I think it's so interesting. Audrey's last name is Rumbers.
Yes.
How close to numbers can you get it? Okay. That's all I'm saying. And for people who get, they need to see how this works. Look at that. How did she do that? How does that? These are very special. I've never seen these. I've been around, Simon. You know we've been around.
Yes, you know you've been.
I've never ever seen these from the top to the tip. They're so structured. Question.
And you know, hold on 1 second, Lloyd. 1 second, Lloyd. What's so funny? Grimm's law of consonants means they can be interchangeable. Rumbers and numbers.
Yeah.
Grimm's law. See, I study now. I'll be studying, y'all.
No. I'm just saying how close can we get to numbers, which is our love, okay?
Yes, yes, sir. Go ahead. Ask the question, Lloyd.
No, but I can't help but think that this quantum physics has to be African in its origin. Now, they may not want to give it the credit, but when you built the pyramids were built with mathematical precision. To this day, they still haven't figured out the entire formula of how the pyramids were constructed. Each block weighing tons apiece. And each pyramid was actually in alignment with the constellations during the cycles of the year and the changes of the season. What made you decide to do this in a pyramid form, Audrey?
Well, because during the time that I was working at Wayne State, in my personal time, I was studying ancient Africa. Me and my sister, we were on this journey of discovering ourselves. And so we decided we were going to just go back as far as we could in history and just start, from as far back as we could and move ourselves forward to try to understand how everything went. And so when we were studying Africa, especially Kemet, we were seeing all of these things that couldn't be possible. In the sense, what I'm saying is that I was seeing quantum physics concepts and these ancient Kemet cosmologies and things of that nature. And so then I said, okay, what is it with the pyramids? It was just something about those pyramids. And so then when I started studying them, and then I started understanding, like you said, that no one can understand how they were made. They're all over the world. There's something about that shape, that holds a certain power. And then I learned back in, I don't know, maybe the 70s or something, people would put food in a pyramidal shape.
Yes, that's right.
And it wouldn't, so I knew there was something about that shape. And it, like you said, I think it was just the universe that put me in this quantum physics, position, while in my search for myself, I was going back into ancient Africa and all of those cosmologies. And unbelievable to me, these two things came together. And I found it quite amazing that something that was so ancient and something that was so futuristic were actually had, concepts in common. As a matter of fact, I went to my boss one day because I wasn't sure could this be true. And I went to him and I told him this. I said, this stuff sounds familiar, these concepts of quantum physics. And at first he said to me, well, no, that can't be possible because they didn't learn about quantum physics until the 1930s. And so I was like, well, I don't know, but I know I'm not crazy. And then he just said, well, you know what they say, there's nothing new under the sun. And I'm like, right. And so then, of course, I went to my best friend, Google, and I Googled ancient Egypt, quantum physics. I usually say, I can't be the only person that's thinking this. Somebody else had to be seeing these connections. And sure enough, when I did that, a book popped up called Electromagnetism, the Ancient Origins, the Ankh, the Ancient Origins of Electromagnetism. And I was like, what? Someone knew. So
I know the author. I remember the author. I have that book. I have that book.
Yes. And this, I said, he's right. He says, like, look at this. These people are talking about things that, we're just now starting to understand. And that's the only reason why we're understanding it is because of the study of quantum physics, which I consider to be like spirit science. It's not your regular science.
Well,
hold on, Lloyd, hold on one second. Hold on one second before you ask that question. Sister, I found out from somebody about that book. The guy, a friend of mine, says that I know the elder, but I just didn't know that was the elder that wrote the book. I knew him from back in the 80s.
Is that right?
I knew from back in the 80s, and I didn't know that he got into Kemet and Egypt that much that he would actually write that book. But he has a Kemetic name now, but I forgot his. Yeah, he has a Kemetic name, but I don't know that. But go ahead, Lloyd. I'm sorry. Go ahead, my brother.
No. It's I'll let you finish. I had it on my mind. It'll come back in a moment.
Okay, no problem. Sister Empress, you have a question for her, please?
Yes, I'm really curious about how, since this great conjunction that we had, does that change anything? Like, do you know, is this changing anything? It's supposed to be like reset.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear me really well?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so
you know about the Saturn and Jupiter, the great conjunction that just happened.
Back on the 21st.
Yeah, right. The 1800. It had been 800 years since it happened, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does that changes things for us as well? Like based on from your studies, as far as the quantum physics, does that shift anything for us?
Well, you know, all I can say is I think that we are in a very, very special time right now. And I think all of these things are coming to fruition. The things that the awakening of Black people, all of this stuff is this time. I think this is a time like no other. So I think all of these things have to have something to do with it. You know, the fact that they're just now exploring quantum physics in this particular time right now to go along with the cosmology and all of that stuff. I mean, all of these things are connected.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
so I definitely see the awakening in us. I started going out and officially selling my pyramids like about 6 years ago. And the difference between then and now, unbelievable.
There's definitely been a surge of people wanting to find spirituality other than in religion. That's the truth. That is the truth. Go ahead, Lloyd. I'm sorry. What you got?
Okay. Well, you know, Audrey, you know, you've been using the word or talking about quantum physics. To a layperson, it sounds like really like do. In its simplest terms, how would you define quantum physics for the layperson, and how is it used? Because Simon, when I met Audrey, every time I heard the word quantum physics, I thought of Audrey Rumbers, because she raised my consciousness to such a level. It would be such a that's not in my field. That's not in my field. Yet quantum physics affect all of us, directly and indirectly. How would you define quantum physics for a layperson that's just hearing that word and think it's like, oh, that's not me?
Right, and that's what I try to do. Usually, that's the first thing I do is tell people my definition of quantum physics, and it's very simple. Quantum physics is just the study of very, 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 very small things. And the thing is that when they study those very, very small things, and I'm talking about subatomic particles, like, you know, you have your protons and your neutrons, your electrons, but then the thing is, what are those made of? So then when they break those down, then you come up with quarks and all of these different strange things, you know, but when they look at when they look on the quantum level, the laws of physics break down and things get very weird. And when you look at things on a very, very small subatomic level, two things can be one thing can be two things at the same time. On that level, something can be on and off at the same time. And that's very counterintuitive to us, you know, because we're used to like, no, there's only one thing. But I try to show people how, even though it may sound strange, we do it all the time. You know, we're two things at the same time all the time, but we just don't think of it like that. Like, you're big and small. You're big and small where you are. You didn't move, you didn't grow, you didn't get smaller, but you're big and small. It depends on the perspective. If someone from up here looks at you, you're tiny. But now someone down there looks at you, you're huge, but you haven't changed. It's just a perspective.
That's deep. You know that's deep, right?
Yes, that is. But
so when you say, I mean, you're living and dying at the same time. You have cells that are going, and you're dying. You're living and dying, literally.
Yes,
at the very same time. But you would think that wouldn't be possible.
Well, you know what's so interesting about that? From my days of collecting comic books, they've been talking about quantum physics in comic books since I was young.
Yes, me too.
And we all know that a lot of the guys that were in the comic book world were former military. We know Stan Lee was former military. Jack Kirby was former military. We're not thinking on that. Even people from DC Comics are former military. Baba Kalindi spoke about that at one of his lectures. May he rest in peace. Matter of fact, his birthday is tomorrow. Matter of fact, Baba Kalindi. That they used to speak about that. And that, I mean, even the Tesseract. When they talk about the Tesseract, they mentioned that in comic books when I was young. I didn't understand what the Tesseract was.
Absolutely.
This is the time for comic book. That's why that's why people like Bobby Hemmett and them used to say, pay attention to what they're putting into these science fiction. The science is what they're studying. The fictitious stuff is all about the exaggeration. But
even Kafunya, when we were talking to Kafunya that day, and she brought up the movie The Last Mincy. And she asked me,
I have it. Yes, I see. Yes.
And I went, I said, no, and I watched that movie, and I said, that movie is about quantum physics. They're talking about the Einstein-Rosen bridge, the wormhole with these, but it's a children's movie. But you're talking about quantum physics.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
So yeah, they put it and I understood it from the moment I saw that movie.
Yes.
I saw they were talking about frequencies. They were tuning those children in. It depends on what frequency you are. The children were on a higher frequency than their parents, so they could see things the parents can see. I mean, it's quite amazing. This, like you said, they're telling us all the time, but we just think that it's fiction and it's not real, but it really is.
And if our children get it, it's going to be powerful, because teaching it through children movie is just going to open their brains. They don't even know, some of them, they don't even know what they're doing. They opening the minds of our children to think beyond this without limitation. And that's
absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
Lloyd, you have another question, brother?
Yes. When they talk about because I also, because of watching you on Kafunya's show, I actually went to see the movie The Last Menzi, and it was just amazing what children see versus what adults see. And although we think children are children, actually, in a way, they are functioning at a higher level than we as adults.
Right.
You know, and so now they have the indigo children, they have Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z, and with each of the generations that they're talking about, they're more attuned, they're more in alignment, and they pick up on things that we adults often just dismiss or don't even take for granted.
But and that's why I tell people to go back into their childlike memories. Let me tell you, I went while I was in Georgia the first time. I went and climbed a tree like I used to do, and it just, a surge of thoughts just came to my head. First it was fear, and then I said, I can do this. And then the fear dropped, and then ideals just came to me. And then recently in New Year's right here in Florida, I went on the swings for the first time in a long time. I remember going on the swings with Empress Aisha, her and her daughters, and all of us went to but that brought me back to swinging again and how to bring, it brought a lot of energy. That's why Les Brown always says, think like a child, but work like an adult. Think like a child, bring back the imagination, bring back the visualization, and then work like an adult. So, who wanted to ask a question, Aisha or Lloyd? Y'all had a question for
Aisha first, because it looks like something was on her mind with it.
I do have something. I kind of lost it. I kind of lost it a little bit, but
oh Lord have mercy.
I did lose it. So
lose it. Okay, all right, Lloyd, you got the question for?
Question. You know, first of all, I need to say this. What she may not have said is these come in various sizes. Okay. Yes. Is this size? This is the largest. This is next to the largest, and there's one that's even smaller that goes into cars. And she designs it where all you do is you put it on the dashboard of your car with a double-sided tape, and it's absolutely amazing what she does. This is a rare woman that we're blessed to have on there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Audrey, you could put the numbers on it too, right? You could put numbers on it, right, Audrey?
She got my name on here, my birthday on here.
Yeah.
You know, and how did she do that?
Okay. So let me just say this. I love the fact that you think my pyramids are beautiful. I appreciate that, but I'm telling you, there's more to it than just pretty.
Yes,
and the only way, because you look at it and you say, okay, it's a pretty pyramid, it's nice to put somewhere, but because you don't see it doing anything, the only way that you can know that something's happening is by the changes that you experience. So how I determine if these pyramids are doing what I think they can do or what they've done for me, then I just go by what other people say. And I have so many different stories from so many different people who just come to me and tell me what happened when they got their pyramids. I can't make it up. This can't be coincidence. I had one. I'm sorry, Lloyd.
I was going to say what's interesting. That was my next question. Could you share with us some of the feedback that people have told you from the pyramids?
Yeah, absolutely. One story particularly just came to my mind is a young lady bought a pyramid from me, and it was for her. And so she's married, And she called me like, I don't know, about 3 weeks later. And she's like, Audrey, I want you to make me a pyramid, just like the one you made me before. And she's just, I'm like, wait, what's going on? Because obviously something happened. So what she said was, she brought the pyramid into her bedroom. She said her husband told her that ever since she brought the pyramid into their bedroom, he was no longer having his post-traumatic stress disorder nightmares. And she said he just noticed. He was like, it's like, wait a minute. And she was like, wait a minute, that's my pyramid. And I'm like, no. It's not your, it's maybe your pyramid, but that energy is like whomever's around it, whomever it affects, you can't ever tell. So that's why I'm saying it changes the energy. It's not you, it just changes the energy around you, so things change. And a lot of people tell me they put them in their bedrooms and they sleep with them over their heads. I met another guy when I was doing the African World Festival in Detroit, and he bought a pyramid from me 1 year. And then the next year he came back. He says, my pyramid's working. I was like, oh, okay, well, what happened? He says, well, I had a stroke. I'm like, okay, yeah, the stroke. Wow. He says, yeah. He says, but I slept with that pyramid over my head for 3 days, and all the symptoms, all the signs of my stroke totally disappeared. And he brought his wife there to co-sign, like to confirm this. Now, I believe him absolutely, but I would not tell someone who had a stroke, just get my pyramid and put it over your head for 3 days, and it'll be all gone. I'm not going to say that, even though he said that, but I don't know.
Audrey, you need a disclaimer. You need a disclaimer with your pyramids. I just want to make sure you got a disclaimer.
I do. From my experience, that when I first got this as a gift made by Audrey, and in fact, I've ordered about at least 10 to 12 of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
To people.
Yes.
And the first thing I did is I put it by my night table. My room is so peaceful, especially at night. I just can't explain it. I don't know how it works, but I know something works. And these are the things that you can't explain in that level of quantum physics. How does it work? It works. That's right. She can't explain how can that person of having the pyramid over them for 3 days eliminated the symptoms of stroke. How can you explain it? And if she did say it, they'd probably say she's crazy. Or the American Medical Association would probably want to run her out of business. But there are things, because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right. And that's what I try to explain to people. I say we use things without this. Look at this. And what is this? I mean, what do you think this is going to do? Yeah. But it has a lot of power in it. And that's what I said. I was starting to understand after I, dealing with quantum physics concepts and things of that nature. I understand that nothing is static. Everything is changeable. And it's all about us in our perspective. And it was very empowering to me. Understanding this, like, oh, wait a minute, I could change things, like me? Like, wait a minute. It just felt like, wow, I'm much more than I thought I was. And I want other people to understand that we're all much more than we think we are. And quantum physics is bringing that to life. It's kind of like science and spirituality are finally coming together. And we're starting to, and I think it was Tesla that said that once, what did he say? Once science starts studying the unseen, science will go further in 10 years than it has gone in the whole hundreds of years of its existence. And he was absolutely right.
Now, those that are just tuning in, please, we're speaking with the great one herself, Audranite creator and quantum metaphysician, Audrey Rumbers. Her email is audranite777@gmail. Her number to contact her for consultation and to break down anything you want about the Audranites and quantum metaphysician experience. Of course, you can call her at 313-758-1381. That's 313-758-1381. And don't forget, her website is www.audranite.com, and her IG is Audranite77. Now, I wanted to ask Sister Audrey, how do you charge or recharge these pyramids? They're charging them.
Yeah. Now, the best thing for my pyramids is for them to be in sunlight. So I suggest people to put them in a windowsill if they can, to get it charged, because the best light is sunlight. It's the strongest light. So when you put your pyramid in the windowsill, when that light comes shining through, you'll see it, because you'll see the green light gets even brighter. And that tells you that the energy is flowing through those fiber optics and carrying the energy of the crystal.
Hey, Kafunya's in. Hey, Kafunya, what's up, girl? How you doing, girl? We in the building, girl. We in the building.
The last Mincy, Kafunya.
Yo, Kafunya, she seen the last Mincy. Finally, I seen it like many years. Finally.
Yeah, I didn't know what. I can't believe how old it is. And they were talking quantum physics back then.
I fell in love with the first time I got it on DVD. I got a bootleg copy. Stop playing. And and I got it on DVD. So I watch it like once every 3 months just to get my mind like open to certain things. But when I was younger, my dreams I used to fly. I used to walk on water and all kinds of stuff in my dreams. So, and I used to see beings in my house in Brooklyn. And then when I went to Jamaica, I used to see beings. And I didn't know why I was seeing it, but I couldn't tell nobody. People thought I was crazy. So I would always keep things to yourself. And, in Jamaica, they'll call it adopi. Yeah, you must see adopi. That's what they call ghosts in Jamaica, adopi. So I'm like, look, hey, it is what it is. But, Lloyd, you got any more questions? Aisha, you got any more questions? Aisha, did you find your question?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
I love your enthusiasm. I love your energy behind everything. It's like, you have such a passion for this.
I
do.
And
I feel it, like it radiates, like you radiate when you speak about the work that you do. So I find that very, very I just find that very, like, I can feel your energy. I can feel it.
Here's the thing. I'm a girl from Detroit, right? Yes. I'm not, I'm just a regular person, had a regular life, and I just got swept up into this quantum physics thing that I don't know. Like I said, obviously I was meant to be there because I knew I had to take the information and break it down in a way that we understood that this isn't just about the scientists. This is us, and we can do this. And it makes me feel so good. Like I said, I feel very empowered because I understand now the energy, the power that I have within me. And so when people say, well, what are you going to do? What do you want to do? I said, I'm going to change the world. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to change the world. And I change the world one pyramid at a time because I understand that we're all connected. And even though I may feel like I'm just one person, but I know there are other persons. It's just like we all, a spark, and we're just sparking all over the place, and it's just turned into a flame. And I'm like, and I can't believe I'm a part of it. And I can't believe this is my life. And I can't believe the things that happened to me. But it did. So I'm saying, if it can happen to me, then it can happen to anybody. So we got to get the word out, that there's a change here. So I love what I do. I've never regretted a moment that I left Wayne State to do this. And I was a little fearful, of course, when you're doing something new, you're kind of jumping out there, doing something out of your comfort zone. But Spirit kept pushing me and said, yes, you are. You are going to leave. You are going to do this, and it is going to work out, and you don't have to worry. And I'm like, okay.
Sometimes you got to step out on faith. Yeah, sometimes you just have to step out on faith, and this is a perfect example. And I got to be honest. I'm not trying to plug Audrey, but every single person watching this show should have a pyramid because it represents so many things: our origin, our place of beginning from mathematics and whatnot. And when you look at these pyramids, they're displayed here, and you haven't seen anything yet. You got to go to her website, and in fact, you got to see them in person. I've seen a whole boatload of them, and she comes in all sizes, colors. And it's never the same. They're all different. That's what makes it unique. You can tell these are not just what they call paper cut. You know what I'm saying? Molded and just like that. Every single one has an individual touch to them. Some are more personalized, like I got my name on it, okay? But, right? What I'm saying, whether you have a name on it or number, they're never the same.
Exactly.
You will not see the same thing. I don't know how she does it, but God bless you, Audrey.
A lot of times people ask me, well, how do you make your pyramids? How do you do that? And I have to tell them, in actuality, I don't really make them per se. It's like a collaboration in the sense. Everything has a consciousness. The crystals have a consciousness. Everything I work with, so it's almost like we get together, and like we do the mission, we agree on the mission, all of the different components, including myself, and I create it. And it's like, because it's a layering process, I'm not absolutely sure what it's going to look like, before I actually take it out of the mold. So every layer, I just let it flow, because if I think about it too much, it messes up. So I just have to that makes sense. Just do it. Just, and it's really strange when I say about everything has a consciousness, because if I'm in a bad mood, I can't do pyramids. It's like if I go over to those pyramids, it's like they're like, get away from us. You're not in the right mind space, and I have to get myself centered, like, okay, in that good mood when I'm doing it, because that just doesn't mix, and I understand that.
My question is, how do the crystals on a quantum physics level and us as humans connect with each other? Like, is there a similarity between the two worlds?
The crystal world and our world? Well, of course, there's. If you'll notice, if we talk about movies, this is the thing that made me start thinking about crystals differently, quartz crystals, because normally crystals, when we think of these crystals, we're just thinking of there's something, they don't have really any power, any energy, anything like that. But when I had my assistant, I hired an assistant, and she happened to sell crystals. She had a crystal store at one point. So when she came in, she started telling me all about crystals and what they would do. And then I started noticing that in the movies, all the movies, you'll notice they talk about crystals. Even in the Avengers movie, the Infinity Wars, they had the Infinity Stones. What's this about these stones? You know what I'm saying? Why is it they're always bringing up crystals? And I believe they're bringing them up because they understand the connection between crystals and us. Like I said, I don't think that you can get a crystal that's just going to change your life. I think that you have to participate in your own salvation. So I think it's like that crystal in your energy, just not, this crystal, okay, this is going to, no. It doesn't, I don't think it works like that. I think that you have to put in the, you know what I'm saying? That energy to pull that out. I mean, that's the way I feel. So the connection between us and the crystal world, I think is very important, because a lot of the things like silicone is what quartz crystals are made of, and these things you'll find, a lot of these things you'll find in your body, and you know what I'm saying?
Right. And there was a situation that happened between my son and my father's wife some years ago, where she's so Christianized, she tried to tell him that crystals and stones were the devil. And then I said, because I studied the scriptures, I showed them and sent them all the quotes that backs up in the Bible about the crystals and the stones in the Bible, the jasper, the sapphire. Yeah. I showed them all the quotes. I sent it all to him. And my father shut that whole thing down at the dinner table and said, now that we see that this is all right, he can keep his crystals and his stones. Why are you telling him that this is the devil just because he's putting it in the sun and charging his stuff and speaking other language?
Because all of these things are part of us, and I really think that they're just tools for us to use right now, because we don't really understand the power that we really have. So it's just kind of like having someone use training wheels on a bike, because until you get your balance, until you know how to ride this bike by yourself, you use these training wheels. But that's what I think they are. I think we have everything we need inside of us when we unlock it. But until we unlock it, we use all these different tools that are just here for us to help us to take us up to the next level. But we just have to recognize that they're here and what they're for.
Well, Audrey, has anybody ever questioned about, like, as Simon was talking about, the situation of his son and his father's wife? Has anybody ever questioned, like, why do you make these, or that these are like maybe not all that good or something like that? Because that's what Simon and I do with numbers. People feel that what we do goes against the laws of God, that it's the devil's work. Has anybody come at you like that in your experience?
I have had a couple of people who said that. As a matter of fact, I had one time this white lady called me, and she told me that some of her family members had brought some of my pyramids home, and she was wondering about them and what they were about and what energies, and because people do rituals and all of that kind of thing. I'm like, no, that is not what this is about. Yeah. But the thing is that most people that when I'm out selling my pyramids, most people that come to my table and ask me about my pyramids, they're already in the frame of mind. Because I'm like, if you stop at my table, at my booth, then you obviously don't have a problem with pyramids. And I think those that do just kind of keep walking, which is fine because it's not for everyone. Everyone's not ready to, see a different perspective to things.
That's right. People that are just tuning in, once again, we're not going to keep our beautiful sister too long. And I know, but I want to make sure everybody support her on her website. That's www.audranite.com, www.audranite.com. Hit her up on IG or DM her on IG. She does answer that. That's Audranite77. Hit her up on an email. That's Audranite777 @gmail, and she's a quantum metaphysician and of course Audranite creator. Now look at some of these people. Now believe me, what I'm showing is really nothing.
Nothing. That's right. This is nothing.
What I'm showing. Look at these beautiful pieces. Look at these beautiful pieces. Now, Audrey, I wanted to ask you a quick question before we move on. Do you make anything small enough to fit in the back of the phone that can people wonder because it's an energy, things like Rising Sun makes?
No, yeah. I haven't asked about that, and no, I haven't, because now I'm going to say this. I have to say this because people ask me about making different things, and for me, I was driven to make these pyramids. It was just something I had to do. I was just compelled to make these pyramids. But when people ask me about other things, I didn't feel that compulsion, like that was something I was supposed to do. But since everyone asked about it, what I did was I got someone to design me some jewelry. Okay. And there, this is Audranite jewelry. This is new, Lloyd. You may not know about this, but I got my daughter-in-law to create some earrings for me, and I just told her the 3 things that they had to have was fiber optics, copper, and a crystal. Those are the 3 things you need to be for it to be an Audranite piece. And I just said, okay, you just design it. And matter of fact, I'm wearing a pair right now. I don't know if you guys can see them, but don't worry, they'll be on the site soon. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. They have all the positive energy. I feel good when I'm wearing them. And so I just know once we get her inventory out, I mean, you're going to love these. And what it is, if you put the UV light on the earrings, you'll see that they're all have a fiber optics going on around them. And if the UV light, they will glow. I don't think we can be able to see it on the screen so well. So I won't try to show you.
I have.
I'm sorry. 1 second. Let me just get one of the questions from the audience that says, Brother Lloyd, before we move on, is there a certain color that brings the energy I want, like removing negative energy? Since I'm the go-to person and people come to me for answers or advice, don't want negative energy staying by me. So is there any particular colors you're dealing with?
Now, once again, this is my view. So, understand, this is just what I understand is that what I do, the reason why I make all of my pyramids different, because I think that we know a lot of the answers to things that we don't think we know. And what I mean is that when people ask me, is there a certain color? I say, what color resonates with you? Whatever it is, that's what it's about. It's about you. It's not about anyone else. If that resonates with you, get it. Don't question it. If you feel that, I don't care what color it is. Because positive energy is positive energy. And just because it's not a certain color doesn't mean that it's not going to have that same energy. That's what I create them for. And my main purpose was when someone puts this energy in their home, they find some type of change in a positive way. Definitely. Now that might be a small change. It might be a large change. I don't know. I just know what I've experienced and what other people have experienced. And so I say, just add your experience to what, Then a lot of times things will happen and people won't think about it until later. They'll be like, well, no, nothing really happened when I got that pyramid. And they'll be like, well, wait a minute. When did I? You know, I said, and see, there we go again. That's what I'm saying. So sometimes that's what I tell people to do. I say, when you get the pyramid, just pay attention. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to say no, pray over it. You don't have to do any of those things. Just let it do its thing and see what happens.
Now, one question that came in just before the one Simon read is, can you program these pyramids? Does that make sense? But the question they ask is, can you program the crystal? Can you program this? Since they
I don't know about programming a crystal. Only thing I can say is that when I think about programming, I'm thinking about what do you want to happen. If you're thinking, you see that, like, that goes back to what will go right, what can go right will go right. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's all about it's all about us. This is what I'm saying. It is not about the pyramids. It's not about the crystals. It's not about any of those things. It's about us and finding that empowerment in us, and then using these tools to do what we want to do. But if we don't understand who we are, we're not going to really get the crystals.
Stop. In other words, Audrey is telling you to depend on your internal energies and spirit to connect with the crystals and what we're supposed to do. We're all energetically connected to each other. That's what she's trying to say. And that's what I keep on. That's what I keep on telling people in numerology. I said, look, these are just here to guide you. We're not numerology. We're here to control you.
Right. Exactly. That's what I understand. That's what. Yeah.
And I put it in the back of my book about what Paracelsus says. Let me put it. I put it in the back of my book about what he says was very clear. He was a German physicist and scientist, and he said something real clear. He says, men and women are superior to the stars if he or she lives in the power of superior wisdom. A person being master over heaven and earth by means of his or her will is magus or magi. And magic is not sorcery, but supreme wisdom. We gotta see that we are masters of these things. It's connected to us. We are gods having a human experience.
And what's so funny is that that's exactly what quantum physics is saying. We're all connected. There is no separation. So you're saying the same thing that the ancient people were saying. So, as a matter of fact, when I started understanding this, when I was working at Wayne State and I was talking to these professors, and I said, don't you think we need to go into the mental institutions and get some of these people out who were telling us, they were talking to people, because maybe they were. Because if you're saying there are different dimensions now, if you're saying that there are parallel universes now, then those people might have been talking to someone and we thought they were crazy.
Just didn't get it. We
didn't get it. I mean, seriously. Because you were crazy. Science, because science is talking some really crazy stuff right now, but it's science. So what you gonna do? We have to accept it.
Well, Empress Aisha, do you have any more questions before we let our guests go? Do you have any more questions?
I do. Can you request the stones that you want in the pyramids?
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. You can do that. Those are custom pyramids that I do. I've had a lot of orders recently, so it's been a little rough for me to do custom ones, but I do custom pyramids. Yeah, and you can get whatever you want, whatever stones you want in them.
Lloyd, you had any more questions before we?
No, I just want to make a statement that everybody listening to this show should have one of these pyramids. I've got 2 or 3 in my home. Okay, this is the smaller one. Then I've got the bigger one, and I take great pride in these. And you should see them in the daylight when the sun is shining in the windowsill, and you can see the argon lights and stuff. I mean, it's just an amazing thing, and it all represents energy. It's just what we do with this energy and understanding the energy, because we all have a life field, a life force, so to speak. And these pyramids, and as I said, the pyramids that you guys that they're seeing here is nothing. People need to go to her website, but the next best thing is they need to place an order and get them in their home. And she even have a smaller one than this one. See, this is this, so for people who can see the sizes. But she's got one smaller than this that can go in your car. That you put on the dashboard, and it acts as a kind of like a protection. Because Audrey, how long you had your pyramid in your car?
I've had my pyramid in my car for over 7 years.
This is what I'm saying. See?
Yeah, and I have felt protected. I mean, you know, I have a story about that too. I have many stories. My stories, other people's stories, you know, and they just keep coming. They just keep coming.
Yeah, well,
we waiting for that book, girl. We waiting for that book.
Yeah, that's what Lloyd keeps telling me.
Yeah,
Look, I can tell you that.
King Simon and I will help you because we put our books, so we got a little experience up in here. Okay,
that's right.
Well, thank you so much, Audrey. This is
absolutely
what a wonderful gift to the world. Seriously,
thank you, Lord. I appreciate that.
Beautiful on the eyes, but the energy, the whole principle behind it, the African concept, and bringing quantum physics down to a street level that the masses can understand and how important the energy is.
Absolutely,
that's absolutely awesome. And I'm glad I got mine. I know it sounds selfish.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I want to thank you again, of course, myself and Empress Aisha. Go ahead, you can thank him, please.
I want to thank you so much, and I just more importantly, I love your energy. So with your energy, creating these stones, with creating the pyramids, I mean, like, see the connection, like it's like you also giving us a part of you.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's beautiful.
Because I want to share my love for my people. I love my people. I love myself. And it just brings me so much joy. It really does, to be a part of this movement of awakening us and letting us know the empowerment, the power that we have within ourselves.
And you mentioned once upon a time that love is important. That's something that we are missing out here. We don't have enough love.
Yeah.
It's become like the 4-letter word, you know, that nobody really wants to talk about on a really serious, just a person basis. You know what I'm saying? We've got to learn to kind of let go, and it's okay. You know, it's okay. We can do this.
Okay to love.
Yes.
Love is a main ingredient. It's a very important ingredient.
Absolutely.
So once again, let's all give a round of applause to Audrey.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Really
Once
do.
again, thank you very much, Audrey. Thank you.
Thank you, King Science. Thank you, Empress.
Yes.
It's an amazing thing to see. I swear. Yes. And when I put the black light on this, you should see people's faces like they're in awe. How she does it. Don't you tell nobody, Audrey. Okay, you got to keep it to yourself. Don't tell nobody. But this is like her signature. How she gathers her material, and you can tell love goes in it. This, if you take care of this will take care of you.
Yes. Forever.
That's all.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing cheap about this.
Thank you again, Audrey. Thank you again. All right.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, you guys take care.
All right. Bye-bye. That's right. We want to thank, of course, Sister Audrey for being on here. Once again, please go to our website, Audranite.com. That's Audranite.com. Of course, her email is Audranite777@gmail. Of course, her IG is Audranite77. That's right. She is a quantum metaphysician, and she is the creator of the Audranite. Man, I'm telling you, once again, give her that round of applause. I'm telling you, family. Don't play. Support. Show us some spread love. Spread love. The Brooklyn way. You know how we spread love.
This is not Egypt. This is Simon, one of a kind.
We are something else, boy.
That one is my favorite.
That one there, right? Hey, Lloyd, she's born on the 2nd. Why would this be one of her favorites? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, if you look at the colors associated with her numbers are normally green, green and white.
Oh, wow.
You know, that's all I can say. And then I'm looking at that star in it, like this. Wow, look! I mean, that's what makes Audrey's pieces so unique. They're all, you know, you don't have to make them custom made. They're all individually.
Yes.
And so, you know, I don't know how she does it. I think she said sometimes some of these take as much as 3 days, 3 or 4 days to create. I would love to document how she does it. It's just the most amazing thing. But I know this, when it comes out, is something that creates a kind of energy that's absolutely awesome. But we all have an energy field. And like you and I, Simon, know about the numbers creating an aura or field. Well, that's what these pyramids do too on their own level.
That's right. That's right. Well, Lloyd, I want to thank you for even passing through to be a part of that. Give Lloyd a well-deserved round of applause.
I've heard so much about you, and you are just as beautiful as she says you are. God bless you, honey. Okay.
Don't forget, give them a call at 800-581-4401. That's 800-581-4401. Also, you can hit him up on his website. That's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Of course, y'all see his advertisement on here all the time. My brother supports. He supports. This is what it's all about. You can go take his class, his beginner's class and his intermediate class. You can take those classes right there, Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Go take his class because he's right now. How many places are you at? How many students you have all over the world?
I actually now have close to 2,000 students in 56 countries, translated in 21 languages, and I'm trying to get Simon on board. Hint. Empress, stay on him. I want him to do exactly what we do. We're brothers. We're brothers. I want him to do the same thing. Don't be. Stop playing, okay? Stop playing.
Oh,
Lloyd, I'm going into my number 9 year next year, so I'm preparing stuff.
Okay,
I'm preparing stuff. So me. I'm just galvanizing the finance in this 8-year cycle. That's all.
We already had that conversation too. Okay.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Lloyd. Well, thank you very much once again, Lloyd.
Empress Aisha, thank you so much, honey. Bless you. Okay.
Bless you, brother. All right, my brother.
Simon, you're the best.
You're welcome. You too, my brother. Thank you. All right. That's our brother Lloyd Strayhorn. That's right, my brother. Woo! Him, I, and Kaya tore the place up on Brother Richard's show today at 4:30 all the way, and I had to leave a little earlier, but it was a beautiful time. A lot of people are hitting me up via text already. They calling me. Oh my goodness! But make sure you hit up Lloyd Strayhorn. Hit him up at his website, and please, that 1-800 number is absolutely free. So don't be afraid to give him that love. And support them because they got specials. Me, I'm one price right now. I'm one price. I ain't got no specials on my site. I ain't got none of that going on. But Lloyd and Kaya got specials for like $60 and $80. They got those type of specials. But I'm a one price person because I got things. I'm doing other things. I got things to do, So, how you been? Did you enjoy the show, my dear? Did you enjoy the show?
I'm ready to get a pyramid.
Yo, I have 2 of them at home. She gave me one, and I know I got another one. So I can't wait to get back home to go clean them things off because they must have been dusty because I just left it there on top of my. Matter of fact, it's good to have near your computer. It's good to have near your television. I have one of them on my television. Actually, I have one on my television, and that definitely keep the frequency down on the television, the energy. And then I got my the Himalayan Himalayan salt lamps.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you got to have one of those. That'll help you with the negative ions in the place. You want to make sure I'm going to get somebody that knows how to speak on those heavily because like I tell people in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, you got to use all of the armors of God, all of the armors of the Creator, whether it's Islam, Christianity, whatever religious or whatever modality from hypnotherapy, who we had last week. And as a matter of fact, what's the name is enjoying the love from Black folks. She's all her customers. Kendall Cobbs, who was on here last week. A few days ago. She enjoys that Black folks are coming to her because for the last 24 years, 90 to 95% only white folks and other people from other nations have been coming for hypnotherapy. So this is a phenomenal thing. I'm about to get my session done in another week. And I can't wait to do that because that's going to bring out what I got to do. And whatever procrastination I have, I got to shut it down because I still have a little bit of procrastination. So I need that to be shut down. Maybe as soon as I look at my phone, stop procrastinating. As soon as I look at my book, stop. But that's how she, that's what she said. That's how she draws it out of you. So whatever you're reaching for, that you're constantly reaching for, it will remind you like, yo, don't do that. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? That's so. And a lot of us have to go through that. If if you feel that you need to get in contact with Hypno Chick, go to Hypno_Chick at IG and hit her up, DM her, and she can help you out. She got a discount, those who say they watch it. So please watch the show on King Simon Presents. She has a discount right now for y'all who wants all the way until like April 14th. From March 14th to April 14th, she has a discount celebrating her 24 years in the business of hypnotherapy. So Empress Aisha, let me run down some of these commercials. Of course, everybody see her site. You got your website yet? You didn't get your website?
No.
Not yet? Okay. You got your phone?
I don't think I'm gonna do a website right now.
Really? You're not gonna do a website? Not for that business. Okay.
No.
Okay. That you like the word of mouth, huh? Quick. You like the word of mouth.
Right now, I just want to because I feel like with the website, because I've hand make everything, I just want it to be pretty much what I show you is what I have, and keep it really simple right now until it expands further.
Okay, no problema. No problema. Let's see here. Okay, tomorrow, we're talking to the wonderful world of property ownership tomorrow. We're going to be talking to Janelle Lewis tomorrow at 9:00. That's right. We'll be speaking with her tomorrow at 9:00. Real estate salesperson and consultant. Of course, you've seen her advertisement on here before. She got different looks, as you can see. She's a supermodel. So if you do want to get consulted by that, you can call her at 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. Or you can tune in tomorrow and have some questions about real estate, property ownership, buying commercial property, all of that stuff. Of course, she's focused throughout New York City and the tri-state area, but she does have connections all over the world of real estate into the Caribbean also. So make sure. And then coming up on the 21st, we have acupuncture physician, board certified Eastern herbologist, and author, Pedalwise founder and director of Eden Integrative, Dr. MJ will be in the building. Of course, you see her advertisement on here too. This is her advertisement, so I'm finally going to interview her for Women's History Month, like I'm interviewing the salesperson, Janelle Lewis. So this is a good look. Also, moving right along, on the 24th, we have a Genesis Samadhi, manifesting and living your bliss life. Yeah, she's coming in. She's a spiritual teacher and she's a tantric healer. So she's talking about manifesting and living your best life or your bliss life. Living your bliss life. Ain't going back and forth with you. Living that bliss life. You got to live that bliss life. And on the 28th now, I'm still trying to confirm. I did text my brother who does the entrepreneur stuff. He hasn't called me back, so he must be traveling or busy. So big up to him. We're going to see. If not, if he can't make it, I'm going to have to change it up for somebody else. But on the 31st, we have Dr. Nalani Valentine. That's Dr. Valentine's wife, doctor of classical naturopathy and educator. We're going to be talking about 7 steps to healing and wellness on Wednesday, March the 31st, as she closed out Women's History Month at 9 p.m. Wednesday, March the 31st. As a matter of fact, I will probably be in Georgia or I'll be in Georgia at that time. So you'll see a new background then. Next time I'm traveling, I got to travel, girl. Stop playing. Also, family, guess what? I got my new workbook coming out. My workbook, Numerovation workbook, is coming out soon. So I'm working on that. It's going to be an ebook, and I might make it a solid book, but it might be only a paperback. But I'm workbook only for those who want to be in my classes that's coming up. When I get back to New York, I'll be teaching from my chalkboard and all that. So I want to make sure I have everything propped up and everything well as I pre-tape a lot of these classes. And the workbook, you can go through. The workbook it'll be based on 9 different videos of the 9 chapters of my workbook. So that's what it's definitely going to be. So again, the workbook is coming out soon, and those that pay for the classes will get that ebook. So they'll get that ebook for free. Actually, I will give the ebook for free because you paid for the classes. Anybody else who just want it just for whatever it'll probably only be like $9.99. That's all. $9.99. Everybody love them 99s. You know what I'm saying? We go there for $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. Gets ready to go $9.99. I'm selling it. Also, my son, make sure you tune in and go get his music. This is my son. He has some great music on his platform, Prince Imagine. He's a multi-talented artist. He plays his own instruments, sings his own song, even dance if he has to. That's how deep it gets with him. And he plays different various instruments. So he's doing this thing, of course. Let me see if you can't see that website. There it is. It's on all platforms. I stopped playing the music only because I guess what happened is that these platforms are striking the video because the music is copyright. It is my son, but he copyrighted music, so I can't just, play his music just like that. That's disrespectful. I already got the music in my in my folder, but I can't play it just on YouTube because they're going to strike the video and shut it down. So you got to be careful because you got to still take care of copyright and all that kind of stuff. So respect to him, what he's doing. Also, here's the books. Here's the books. Here's the books, of course. Here's the books. Here's the books. Here's the books. Here's my books. Here's my books. Here's my books. And if you want to go get them books, direct link, go to King Simon the Numerovation, Linktree, King Simon the Numerovation, Linktree. All right, because we're going to be linked up. I'm telling you. All right. And of course, my daughter. Yeah, I am great. That's right. You know how to read the I am great. That's her series of stuff that's coming out. And of course, you can go to her website, right on my website, Teesprings. I just made a little account for her, teesprings.com/Yasira Pink Art. That's Yasira Pink Art. We got some shirts coming out soon. We got some mugs, more mugs. We got different mugs and all types of stuff because people like drinking tea nowadays. You know what that is all about. People love drinking some tea. And of course, there it is. Look, now you know what to do. Talk about your stuff, girl. Talk about your stuff.
Yes, these are my floral earrings. I make the floral earrings. Believe me, you sisters will love it. They're lightweight. They're noticeable. They. You know what, King Simon? What I find most intriguing about these earrings is that the men love it the most. That's what I find most intriguing. That there's something about women and when they wear the earrings, the flower earrings. It's like the men, I find that they like it, but they come with love, not like with lust or just like, oh girl, I gotta get you. It's more like, wow, those are really beautiful on you. Like it just is it to me, from my experience and what I have seen, it's like it just kind of like brings back the feminine energy into the world, that the way we need it. It represents something that I feel like it connects the masculine world and the feminine world together in a way that it just harmonizes us. Good. And I love the energy that they just put out there. So I would say, don't be afraid, sisters. I had sisters who said that they were too old. This is for the young ones, but let me tell you, there's not. When it comes to flowers, you're never too old.
That's right. You're never too old to go smell flowers, to go breathe some flowers. Look, you'd rather your flowers before you hit that grave, that's for sure. So make sure you get your flowers on your ears and then pass it on generationally, because they don't die on your ears. They actually still look the same on your ears all the way through. So enough respect to that. And of course, the class is coming up once again. Make sure you hit me up, the numerovation@gmail. And of course, let's big up the sister here. We got her, make sure I got her 10% off. Those who want to hit her up, 10% off coupon, King 2020, www.pedalwise.com, www.pedalwise.com. You want that discount, make sure you put in that discount right there at that code that I just gave you there. And of course, if you want to do a consultation with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022, 347-496-1022, and use WhatsApp if you live outside of the United States. Use WhatsApp if you live outside of the United States. Let me change that. Use WhatsApp, text through and use WhatsApp. And if you want to advertise, let me know. Let me know if you want to advertise. Please let me know. And last but not least, content disclaimer. All right. The views comments and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised, because I never want to assume that the sponsors believe in this also. Sometimes they just spend their money and don't even watch this stuff. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? I tell people like that all the time. Sometimes I don't get a chance to watch all of Brother Rich's show, but because of the journey me and Brother Rich has had from the cold, promoting on the street, I was promoting on the street in the cold, and I've seen him set up selling DVDs and CDs back in the day in the cold. I said I would continually advertise with that brother, because I know where we're coming. It's reciprocal energy that I'm giving. And every time I advertise, y'all see me up there just like McDonald's. McDonald's do not care. That most of the executives are not even watching that stuff. They're not even watching a commercial. They don't care. They got departments for that. They don't care what's happening. They just know that once they used to serve thousands, then they started serving millions, and now they're serving billions. That's it. So advertisement doesn't cost, family. Advertisement pays. So if you would like to advertise on my show or Brother Rich's show, please, I can help you direct to Brother Rich's show also. Please, please, please text me via WhatsApp, or if you live outside the United States, or if you live in the United States, text me at this number if you want to advertise. And you want to advertise on Brother Rich, I'll connect you with Brother Rich, because I know sometimes it's hard to get to Brother Rich, and this is what it is. So, but definitely both of our platforms will be very helpful to you and your business and to people's support. Like the hypnotist saying, man, she thanking me like crazy today. So big up to the hypnotist. And you ready for the prayers, my sister? You ready for the prayer?
Yes.
Okay, first, let's big up Dr. Delbert Blair for even providing such a great prayer and leaving this with us. For the continuation of Dr. Blair's legacy, people go to his, please go to his official website, www.themethacenter2.com. That's www.themethacenter2.com for books, ELF protective products, and much more. And without further ado, our beautiful sister, Empress Aisha Amor, will be doing the prayer, my friend. Prayer time, prayer time, prayer time. Ready for you. Go ahead. I gave you the wrong thing. That's the disclaimer. Sorry. There it is. There's the prayer now. Go ahead, sister.
Everybody take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Here we go. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Thanks.
Very much. Thank you. Give you a round of applause for that. Thank you very much. Thank you. And please, please, please have a good evening, my sister. Give those beautiful babies a good old hug and love.
Yes.
And thank you always for being. Are you coming in tomorrow? Are you coming in tomorrow or no? You gonna come into the real estate? Can you make it?
Yes.
Okay. And definitely come in for the acupuncturist on Sunday. That's gonna be off the hizzle for shizzle, because she's talking about, I didn't even mention what she's talking about. She's talking about her topic is womb disease is killing your mental health.
Oh
yeah, man. It's called, sometimes just having fibroids or having problems down there is messing up with here. So we gotta pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about that with Dr. MJ on Sunday. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the realty and owning real estate tomorrow. Okay. One love, my sister. Thank you very much. Okay.
yes.
You be safe and like I said, give those children a group hug every now and then. You should have them and just group hug them. That's it. When you get them together in a second, I know the older one is working, but when you get them together, give them a group hug and just thank the Creator for having them and that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? All right, sister. All right. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. That's right. Yes. All right, family. People are still texting me and all kinds of stuff. They don't know that I am on a show, but it's all good. I'm getting ready to get on out, take a step to the rear, and get the heck out of here. Thank everybody that's been holding on. Thank you. All of you that participated in tonight's show. Once again, want to thank Audrey Rumbers. Want to thank Lloyd Strayhorn for passing through. Once again, this is their site. That's Audrey's stuff there. Make sure www.audranite.com, and of course, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Make sure you hit him up. And of course, if you want to get anything from me, you can go to Linktree. There it is. Let me close out with some good old music, and then the rest of the closure, we will drop it up. So this is also some good YouTube music that I'm got now, so I can play this music. So I'll take care of yourself. Y'all be safe. I'm out of here. One love, one aim, one destiny. Up, you mighty nation. You could accomplish what you will. Peace. This is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now.